Abdrushin. Questions and answers. Why does God sometimes punish so severely? God does not punish at all, nor does he threaten and tempt. All these are false human opinions. Even the 10 Commandments, which were given through Moses, are merely a guide to show how man can attain to a life of bliss. Only man inflicts punishment in his social system, like everything thought out by him, but unfortunately in the wrong way. Imperfect, and still more imperfect in practice. The word punishment has really only been invented by man himself in his limited comprehension. Let us take an example of a rather mundane nature, so that it is easier to understand. A businessman has gone into partnership with another. One of his friends is more far-sighted than he, and has a better knowledge of human nature. Consulted by the businessman because of various business difficulties, this friend warns him and advises him to dissolve the partnership as quickly as possible, as the partner harbours evil intentions and wants to pursue his own advantage relentlessly to the disadvantage of the businessman. The friend told the businessman concisely and clearly that he would suffer great losses unless he followed his advice. The businessman, however, did not follow this advice, as he could not then detect any signs of the truth of his friend's misgivings. Not until some years later were the warnings of this friend fulfilled. The businessman suffered great losses through his partner, who had been able most cunningly to carry out a plan well laid beforehand to the detriment of the other. The businessman now called it a punishment for disregarding the warnings of his friend, and sought to interpret this punishment as a chastisement for it. Such is the attitude of men towards the light. From there many timely warnings are sent to them, through observing which they can save themselves from many an evil. Now, however, they imagine that it is a punishment of God when they are struck by the self-incurred evil, which had to take effect through their refusal to listen or their disobedience. They even think themselves marvellously great when they bear this punishment with patience and expect a special reward for it from God, be it only in the sensation of inner upliftment through their good behavior. All this is self-deception and falsehood, for God does not punish them thereby, but they in their obstinacy have created the misfortune for themselves. It can be observed from the light when a man, or all mankind, takes a wrong path, which must inevitably lead to a very definite end. This end, which man sometimes cannot see, or better still, does not want to see, is clearly recognized from the light. Man, or mankind, are warned. When the warning is disregarded, and men stubbornly continue on their way, it is natural that at a certain time they must come to this end. This end, however, is not brought about as a punishment by the light, but was already prepared through men's choice of the way, and the light had only tried to hold men back from it, to lead them onto another course, where the evil end was avoided, and a joyful end awaited them instead. Thus God does not punish, but man, if he will not allow himself to be warned, brings about everything himself. Therefore, it is great sacrilege to say, God, how severely thou dost punish, and it is also wrong to complain, how can God allow such things?